Praise God. Matthew 16 and 17. Now, I really want to challenge us this morning as we look at these verses. And Jesus answered and said unto him, talking about Peter, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Let the church say amen. Now, in this conversation that we're having about I am, when we go back and kind of look at some of the things we've been talking about to frame this issue of I am and this year of I am, there are many things we observe as we get to the pinnacle of the story of Abraham as the father of faith. Abraham just didn't become the father of faith overnight. There are three key elements that we see in Abraham's life that made him the father of faith, this great covenant God, this great covenant man in relationship with a covenant God. And I want you to look at these this morning because, number one, it was his commitment to God's process. Somebody say commitment. It was his commitment to God's process. Number two, it was his obedience to God's instruction. His commitment to God's process and his obedience to God's instruction. And number three, it was the revelation of who God was out of his own experience. Because you cannot have experience without having commitment. Somebody say commitment. And you cannot have an experience without obedience, or the experience that Abraham had with God came through his commitment to the process, his obedience to God's instruction, which created an experience in his life that opened him up to a revelation of who God was. I'm going to say that again. His commitment to this process and his obedience to God's instruction gave him an experience with God that opens him up to revelation of who God was in his personal life. Now, when we think about it, if there's anything our society today is lacking, it's commitment to process, obedience to instruction, which fails to give us the experience we need to have the revelations necessary for us to walk in a victorious life. Nobody wants to be committed. Commitment is a bad word today in our society. Obedience, oh my God, don't say nothing about that. Obedience? But then without the two, there's no real experience. And without experience, you're not open up to a revelation or a greater revelation of who God is. So, think about it. Listen to me carefully. And I used this illustration this morning at the 8:30 service, and it's a bad illustration, okay? It's bad. What I'm getting ready to say is bad. It's not personal. It's just the best one I could think of at this point. So don't hold it against me. But I was thinking about my stomach. And I was thinking about, I got a fat stomach. I was thinking about I need to get my six-pack before spring get here. And understand what I'm saying. Now, the reason why so like we had a Valentine masquerade party dance last night. You know, since y'all don't like to come to Hampton, so we had it, and I got ready to drop it. Something happened in my hamstring. I had to hurry up and pick it back up. And I looked at my stomach. That's part of the problem. But see, my issue, not yours, my issue is that I have not committed to a process. Because if I commit to a process and I obey the instructions, the issue corrects itself. Y'all didn't get that. See, if I commit to a process and obey the trainer, everything else is going to take care of itself. But now, because I failed to make the commitment and I failed to obey the trainer, I don't even have one. Me and my wife was talking about walking. I just want some pills. Give me some pills and let me take a couple of shots and shrink some things and I'm good. But that's what we all want to do. Come on, y'all. That's what this society wants to do. We want a pill, we want a shot, or we gonna get some surgeries. Come on. But we don't want to commit to a process, and it is committing to the process that automatically fixes the problem. Right? So if I commit to the process and I walk in obedience to the instructor, then the problem I got is going to fix itself, and I'm going to get where I need to be because I experienced or I allowed myself to have the experience of that process. Now the problem with many of us is we don't want to stay committed to anything. Obedience is out the question, so we get stuck with the problem and we want a quick fix. It's just so much easier to get a quick fix. But here's the thing. Even if you get a quick fix, if you don't ever, commit to a process, and if you don't ever become obedient to the instructor, guess what's going to happen, y'all? It's you going right back. Right? Now, I hope this is not the case, but I'm going to step out here. Now, I don't know nothing about nobody. But people go get these surgeries and put bands, right? And 10 years later, they right back where they was. Why? A band don't fix your obedience. If you're not willing to yield to a process, I don't care what they put on you. You're talking about you're supposed to eat a little spoonful of this and a little spoonful of that, and 10 years later, you eating the whole chicken. You don't went from eating crumbs to chicken. I'm sorry, honey. Don't look at me like that. But at the end of the day, what good? The surgery or the diet, come on, y'all, or the quick fix that you was taking did not fix your situation long term because you never decided to commit to the process. You never decided to be obedient to instructions, and therefore you don't fix the issue. I'm trying to tell you that Abraham didn't become a man of faith because he was perfect. He didn't become a man of faith because he was flawless and sinless. He had faults, he had issues, he had problems, but one thing he did do that got him where he needed to be was commit to a process, obey the instructor, and have the experience necessary to get him to the place where he could be called a father of faith. See, our problem is we too busy. See, this is what religion does, and I got to go. But here's what religion does. Religion keeps you looking at your belly. I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about your husband ain't got no belly. But I'm talking about my belly. See, religion says, look how fat you are. You look at you. You're supposed to be a Christian, and you can put that on apply that to anything. They look at the flaws and the faults, right? And they focus on the flaws. So if I'm so busy focusing on my stomach, I'm gonna keep getting depressed and feeling bad. What you laughing at, remember? I'm gonna be looking at, I'm gonna be feeling bad and looking at this and everybody else looking at and talking about what's wrong with me. But see, we're doing it wrong. Instead of looking at our faults, we ought to engage in the process. And see, so many things are not changing in our life because we have never found ourselves committed to any length of time to anything. So what do we do as people of God? We start something and stop. We excited for a while, then we quit. We do it for a while. We try it for a while. Come on, somebody. We hang out, and then when it don't happen, when we think it should happen, we give up. Right? So when we first learn about what we need to do, oh yes, we in Bible study, we committed. We praise God, we committed, right? We tithing, we committed. 6 weeks. Same thing you do at the gym. Buy the membership. I'm going to walk down here. You're going to buy the membership, and then you in there every morning taking selfies, video, sweat dropping all off you. In 6 months, we can't get a video. We can't get a picture because you done already quit the process. And the bad thing about it, you quit the process before you even get the stuff done. See, the problem with us is not our problems. The problem with us is our lack of commitment to the process, our lack of obedience to instruction, and our lack of experience that gets us to a place where we can receive real revelation from God. Can somebody say amen? That's the problem. We want to blame what Jesus is going to do. No, the process has been put there for you to practice. And when you don't engage in that process, then you focus on the problem. If you focus on the process and stay committed to it, guess what? All those problems will work themselves out. They will self-correct. Right? So here's the deal. The greatest reward we can receive is revelation of I am. Listen, the greatest thing you can receive from God is not stuff. The greatest thing you can receive from God is revelation. Put a pin in that. I'm going to get back to that. But see, we run around here trying to get stuff. We trying to get a blessing. We trying to get a miracle. We trying to get a man. We trying to get a woman. Y'all ain't going to talk to me. We trying to get a car, a house, a something. We trying to get a something. The greatest things you can get from God is revelation. Because once you get a revelation, you can get anything you want. See, revelation is what gives you access. So guess what? When our faith is engaged with revelation, the manifestation of spiritual resources show up in the natural. Listen, when you get a spiritual revelation, things start happening in the natural. But when you lack spiritual revelation, it's hard to get anything done in the natural. Because what's going to manifest in your natural life has to come out of a spiritual truth. It has to come from a spiritual impartation. It has to come from a spiritual source. Because when it comes from spirit, spirit always creates what you see in the natural. Everything you see in this room comes out of the spirit. It came from the spirit realm, and now a revelation brought it into the natural. Somebody had a revelation of a bench. Somebody had a revelation of how these pews ought to look. Somebody had a revelation of how this church needed to be built. They had information and a revelation of what to do. And guess what? It came from the spirit. But if you don't get a spiritual revelation, you have a hard time seeing any real manifestation in your life. Your lack of a man is revelation. Your lack of a woman is revelation. Your lack of money comes through your lack of revelation. Your lack of resources always come from a lack of revelation. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Without faith and revelation, we remain limited to our own ignorance. What I mean by that, without a revelation and faith in that revelation, we're limited to our own intelligence. We're limited to what we know. And how is that working for you? Because without a revelation and without faith in that revelation, then we are limited to our own end, and many times believing a lie rather than the truth. You know why? You can only believe what you know. If you don't know it, you can't believe it. If you don't have a revelation of it, you don't have nothing to put faith in. Are you hearing me? So here's what you got to understand. Our own ignorance is our greatest enemy, along with our inability to know what to do, how to accomplish what is necessary to get us where we want to be. I'm going to help Shalom this morning, because what you got to understand is, it's only hard when you don't know what to do. Y'all didn't get that. It's only hard, Morris, when you don't know what to do. The job is hard when you don't know what to do. Life is hard when you don't know what to do. It's not that it's hard, you just don't know what to do. How many know changing a tire is easy when you know what to do? But when you don't know what to do, it's the hardest thing in the world. What makes it difficult and what makes it easy? What's the difference in it being hard and the difference in being easy? Knowing. Knowing. Can't do what you don't know. And what you don't know make life hard. It's not that life is hard. It's just you don't know what to do with life. You know why relationships are so hard? We don't know what we're doing. You know why getting things accomplished in our life is so difficult? Because we don't know. So what are we functioning off? Ignorance. We functioning off limited information. We functioning off a very little bit of information, but we trying to change the world with it's like you trying to move a boulder without the tools. Watch this. See, we are limited. I'm going to say it again. We are limited. And let me say another thing to you. Now, I'm probably going to get ahead of myself. Let me say, I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care how great your IQ is. I don't care what kind of grades you made. I don't care what kind of degrees you got. You still limited. Because some of the most intelligent people in the world is a split second away from cray-cray. The closer you become to a genius, the crazier you are. Some of the most genius people in the world were just as crazy as bed bugs. Because even at your greatest level of intelligence, your highest IQ, you are still limited. That's what's so crazy about us. We celebrate intelligence. And there ain't nothing wrong with being intelligent. Ain't nothing wrong with expanding your mind. Do everything you can to make yourself as intelligent and knowledgeable as you possibly can. But understand this. no matter what you do, you always going to be limited. And you know what? If you were so smart, half the problems you asking God about would have already been solved. All these smart alecks. You so smart, know everything, but you got problems. Can't fix your marriage, can't lose weight, can't get no money, relationships jacked up. Your life is in a shambles. You can't sleep at night because you're worried. Your mind tore up, but you're smart. You know everything. With all of your knowledge, you still jacked up. At your very best, you are limited. Y'all looking at me funny. Care what kind of degree you got. Celebrate your degree. Get your degrees. But always understand, guess what? God does not live in, God does not impress with your IQ. Because some of the smart, how many know some of the most intelligent people in the world do some of the dumbest things? The smartest people on the earth told us we came from apes. How can you be intelligent? And Darwin was supposed to be one of the most intelligent, smartest, genius scientists that ever walked the face of the earth. And he came up with the theory of evolution that we crawled out the water, fell up on the sand, grew a tail, hung in the tree, and became monkeys. And that we then evolved from monkeys to cavemen. Then we moved from cavemen. Y'all been to school? Y'all know that's what they told us. And they banned us from teaching creation. Come on, somebody. Now watch this. At the time, in Matthew 11:25, at the time Jesus answered said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent. Look what it said. Thou hast hid these things. What is he talking about? Thou hast hid spiritual information, spiritual revelation from the wise and the prudent. He says, guess what? You can be as smart as you want to be, but if God does not reveal himself to you, if God hides himself from you, you are still most miserable. Watch this. He says, but you have revealed them to babes. Even so, for it seemed to be good in thy sight. All things, watch this, y'all. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and to whomsoever the Son reveal, there's that word. Whomever the Son, what? Reveals him. So here's the deal. Let me hurry up because this is heavy. You cannot know God until the extent that he shows you himself. You can't know somebody unless they show you who they are. That's why we get so many surprises when we get married, don't we? I know my baby. Now, there's some stuff she ain't showed you. I hope. There's some stuff he ain't showed you. You can live together 6 years, mess around and get married. And guess what's going to happen after you get married? You're going to see some things after you get married that you didn't know before you got married, because there's some things you don't show to casual relationships. Oh, y'all ain't going to talk to me. I might be giving you sex, don't mean I'm giving you my heart. Oh, come on, somebody. I might show you my nakedness. We living together. I might show you my physical nakedness, but that don't mean I'm showing you everything. That's why when we get married and say I do, stuff start happening you didn't know was going to happen. You start sitting, and then you start sitting up there looking at, I ain't know you was like that. Yeah, you ain't know. You ain't know because I ain't show you. How many people I got in here going to be honest? How many know there are some things you found out after I do that you didn't know before I do? Because if you knew, there's some, you don't know, people don't know you beyond what you allow them to know. That's why you got to be careful. I know. You don't know nothing. You know what I let you know. And I only let you know what I feel like you deserve to know. And my willingness to let you know me is my right. Because I don't have to let you know nothing I don't want you to know. Because this is what I know. And what you know is what you know. And you get to keep what you know until you're ready to let me know. Right? Because until you're ready to let me know, I think I know, but I don't know. You might not like it, but it's true. You dating somebody. I got to get to know him. You still don't know him. Some of y'all been married 10 years, still don't know what you got. Don't know the person you sleeping with. Come on. There's parts of them and things about them that they have not yet revealed. Why? Because they don't feel comfortable. Why? Because they just decided not to. Why? Because they might not trust you. Why? Because it may be something they may not feel comfortable at the point sharing with you. And that's their right. Why y'all looking at me like that? I know my boo. No, you don't. You know what she wants you to know. You know what he wants you to know. It's quiet now. You see how quiet it got? I got to go. He said, so he said, watch this. I'm closing. He said, so you don't know God beyond what God reveals to you. You can't know God beyond what he's ready to let you know. And guess what another thing is? He said, watch this now. Now this brings up the next verse in the text. Because as we exegese the text and pull the text up out of the scripture in the context in which it was written, then you can have the proper interpretation before you make the right application. So when you read the text, in the text, when you pull out the text in the framework of the text, then he goes on and says in the text, what? Come unto me, all you that are labor and heavy laden. Why are you laboring? Because you're limited. Why are you burdened? Because you don't know what to do. Why are you going through what you're going through? Because you don't have the answers. He said, come unto me, all ye that are what? Heavy laden. And do what? And do what? He says, come and do what? He says, come what? Come and what? I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and what? And what? And what? 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 Do what? Notice, mother, he does not say learn about me. He says learn me. You know what we don't do? Learn him. You know what we think we smart? We know about him. You can't tell me about my Jesus and you don't even know him. I know too much about him. No, about him. You don't know him. Huh? Can I know about you and not know you? Can I know about you and not know? Of course, I can know about you. I can know about you. I can know about you. You married to Randy, that's about you. You sing, that's about you. Right? You got a little temper, that's about you. So I know. now, there's some things I know about her. Huh? Oh, mine got a little bite in her, too. So don't let her sit there and food. I know about you, but I don't know you. See, a lot of y'all know about Christ, and you pride yourself on knowing about Christ, but you don't know him. You don't know him. Okay, Bishop, what you mean? He said, because when you take my yoke upon you and you learn of me, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find rest for your soul. Y'all didn't get that. When you really know me, You ain't all the pieces. When you really know me, you ain't confused. When you really know me, you're not walking around carrying all these burdens and wearing all these problems. You know why? Because when you learn about me, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Can I ask you a question? I'm getting ready to get out of here because I feel real good. If I had an organist, I might tune up this morning. But here's the question. He said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Why are you Christians always so burdened? Because burdens, you can know about him, that don't move the burden. To know him removes the burden. Y'all faking like you know him. You only know about him. All you know is about what the preacher told you, what your mama told you. What you don't know him for yourself. Touch your neighbor and say, you don't really know him for yourself. I know you don't want to say it, but you wouldn't be jacked up if you knew it. If you really knew him, you know about him. You know he walked down Jericho streets. You still think he white with rosy cheeks hanging on the picture. The one that you saw between Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy. You know the one. You know the one your parents used to hang on the wall like that was like they was the Trinity. You know what I mean? When we was young, you ain't going no house. Who you seeing up on the wall? A feminine-looking Jesus with pink rosy cheeks and long wavy hair, a white boy, yeah, and Martin Luther King on one side, right? And he was holding the Bible. He was so cute. And all my life, I thought Jesus was white with rosy cheeks. He looked a little feminine when I was looking at him. I wasn't sure I wanted to follow that Jesus. I said, well, Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy is up there with him. He must be okay. Yeah, I'm come ready this morning, Shalom. Y'all ain't ready. I came with my guns loaded because some of y'all don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna help you understand. I've been to school. No, I'm just playing. But listen. Why are Christians so still carrying these yokes and these burdens? Because they don't know the difference. Many of them don't even realize you know about him, but you've never known him. Why? Let me get on down here. He says, I am, but I am who I reveal myself to be. Notice he never say, I am something. He said, I am that I am. So that means he can be to Randy what he is to Randy and be something totally different to myself. Did I say that right? Marshall. He could be, y'all living in the house. I am whatever you think he is, and he is whatever you say he is, and he could be two different things to both of y'all. The one God. I am that he never categorized himself. Y'all ain't with me. Why? Because you can't put him in no box. Oh, y'all not. You can't box him up. You can't define him. You can't make him and act like you got all the dibs on him and you got a copyright on him. You can't walk around with your head stuck up in the air talking about, I'm the only one to know God. Why? He's too big. I am that I am. So then guess what? He has to be, listen, he has to be in your life what he reveals himself to be. I got to get out of here. But can I ask you a question? Who does he reveal himself to? Huh? If you ever going to get a revelation of who he is, if he going to reveal himself to you, think about it. If he can only be to you what he reveals, then who does he reveal himself to? Probably not us. You know why? Because would you reveal yourself to somebody that does not seek you? Why am I going to reveal myself to you and you don't seek me? How do you deserve to know about me? Right? The only way you're getting to know about Michelle is that you are pursuing her. You're holding her hand. You're looking for her. Where you at, girl? You ain't home yet? You are seeking her. And the more you seek her, the more comfortable she becomes in letting you know who she is. The more vulnerable she becomes to you because she trusts you because of your consistency of seeking her. Right? But then you want God to be a one-night stand. You want God to be your booty call. You want God to be your hoe. Yeah, I said it. And I meant it. We want God to be our good thing, our boo thing, somebody that gives us what we need when we show up at midnight. We want him to be our Jody. Yeah, we want him to be the one that come and touch us and make us feel good. Oh, Lord, make me feel good. Jesus, make me feel good. Oh, I feel you, Lord. But after you feel good, ain't no relationship. You show up when you get ready. You pray when you get ready. You worship when you get ready. And that ain't even real. You just playing with him, trying to get something from him. You know you're going to need a hit. So you're trying to stay close enough so when you call him, he'll hit you. Yeah, you don't pay him no attention all week long, but when you want that thing, when you want that feel good, come on somebody. You don't call a drug dealer till you want to feel good. You don't call Jody until you want to. You don't get a booty call until you want to. Because then after the booty call is over, he can go on about his business so you can go on about yours. Isn't that right? And most of the time, that's the way we treat God. Come bless me, fill me up, Lord, touch me, make me feel better, and then go on about your business. I'll see you when I see you. I'll serve you when I get ready. I'll show up to church when I get ready. I'll come to Bible study when I get ready. I'll obey when I get ready. I'll seek you when I get ready. I don't seek you when I don't need you, but when I need you, I want to call you. When I call you, you better answer the phone. You know how it is when you had them little tricks out there. You tell them, when I call, answer the phone. You ain't buying them no groceries. You ain't taking care of them. You ain't paying no bills. But when I call, pick up the phone. That's the way we treat God. If you ain't going to seek him, why should he reveal himself? So guess what? I'm closing. Well, what time is it? I got 3 minutes. So now watch this. So he can't reveal himself to most of us because he can't trust us. We're not consistent. We're not committed to a process. We're not obedient. We do what we want to when we want to do it. We don't worship him consistently. We don't pray consistently. We don't serve consistently. We don't do what we're supposed to do on a regular basis to honor him and serve him and to seek after him. So why should he reveal himself to us? And so here's the deal. When he limits his revelation to us, we are limited with the knowledge we have. That means nothing we can do. Get in trouble, can't get out because we don't have a revelation. Because he only gives his revelation to those that seek him. Right? Seek and ye shall. Knock. If you ain't seeking, why should he come looking for you? He came looking for you 2,000 years ago. He came looking for you when he gave his life on the cross. He came looking for you when he said, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish. He came looking for you when he came to his own, and his own received him not. He ain't looking for you no more. You got to look for him. And guess what? If you don't see it important enough for you to seek him, he don't feel like you deserve to know what it is you need to know to get out of the mess you done got yourself in. The only person that can know me is the people I reveal myself to. The only people that can know the Father is the people I show the Father to. So guess what I'm not going to do? I'm going to let you keep on playing church, playing religion, playing the games, and I'm going to just keep my information to myself until you're ready to get real, until you're ready to get consistent, committed, and obey, until you're ready to have the experiences that allows me then to feel like I can share some of my revelations with you that will manifest the blessings in your life. Matter of fact, I'm going to hold that till you get yourself together. See, he ain't got to do nothing to you. He just keep his information. You ever seen somebody doing stupid and you knew they was doing stupid and you had the information they needed, but because they were so arrogant and stupid, you just say, I ain't telling them nothing. Let them just fall apart. Let them go on with their little dumb selves. Oh, you know everything? Especially a know-it-all. Anybody here know a know-it-all? Know everything? You can't tell them nothing. So when you see them making a fool out of themselves, you just say. You ain't got to call them a dummy. You ain't got to say nothing to it. Just don't say nothing. And watch them fall apart. Watch them start sweating. Watch them start falling apart. And then guess what they're going to do? Oh, I thought you knew. That's what God is doing with a lot of us. Oh, you smart? Go on, do your thing, bro. Go on. Don't do what you do. Oh, you come to Bible study when you get ready. Keep on. You worship me when you feel. Oh, just keep on. Keep on. And I'm going to do just like this. And I'm going to sit there. And guess what the Bible said? I'm going to laugh at your calamity. I'm going to laugh at you because you're smart. You think you're going to have victory in this life and not have a relationship with me. I ain't no hooker. I ain't no one-night stand. I'm not a booty call. I'm here for real relationship. Can somebody say amen? Give the Lord a hand clap of praise. Now I'm going to close right here because y'all, I know y'all sick of me this morning. I'm going to close right here. Matthew 11:28 in the Message Bible says it like this. Are you tired? Worn out? Burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me. More than just a casual relationship. Look, he didn't say, I'm coming to you. He said, you come to me. He said, come to me and you'll recover your life. He says, I'll show you how to take a real rest. He says, walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. He says, if you hang out with me, I'm going to show you how to win in life. But see, here's the problem. We don't want to hang out with him. We want to hang out at the clubs. We want to hang out at these other places. We don't want to hang out with him. And he says, you're not going to learn what I know until you start hanging out with me for real. See, and a lot of people in this room, you ain't hung out with Jesus in a long time. You just playing church. Shalom, we got to stop playing church. We got to stop. No, I'm telling you, you got to stop playing church. This thing got to get real. This ain't nothing you do on Sunday and then Sunday through the next Sunday we just show up at church to play church. You can't get what God got playing games. You got to get real. You got to get committed. You got to learn how to obey. You got to learn how to follow leadership. You got to learn how to get serious in your worship. You got to learn how to get serious in your prayer life. You got to get serious about your Bible study. You got to get serious about winning this community to Jesus. Because let me help you understand something. Let me help you understand something. Until you get committed, till you become obedient, till you start taking this thing for real, all of us just wasting our time. We got better things to do. We got better things to do. We got to get a revelation. We got to get an understanding, because when a revelation comes to us, we get a conviction about what we're doing. This ain't something we just casually do. We got to get convictions about what we sing. We got to get convictions about what we preach. We got to get convictions about how we serve. We got to get serious about what we're doing, and we got to be so serious about it until the world starts being impacted by our commitment. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to keep sitting here acting like this is just another club, something to do, and God, if I show up, Lord, I guess I will. I guess I will show up. I ain't feel like it. Pass me not. No, we got to get to the place where we have a real relationship with God, to the point where it starts correcting these issues, and we start getting on so God can reveal to us. And the worst thing can happen to your life is to have the best thing God could ever give you and can't see it. Come on, give God a praise.
Amen. Let's give our